moving on. So for me, I first got adult acne. And again, you can't see it. Maybe I'll try to put pictures in between if I figure out how to edit this. So I first got acne between my, I want to say, senior and grad year of college. So let me backtrack. This is going to be another side tangent, but I guess it'll give you a full scope of my skin issues. So I okay, I wear like extensions and like weaves and wigs for the most part, because I went natural my senior of college. So literally one day I was just like, I'm tired of my hair. I'm tired of my hair being permed. And on top of that, I went to school in upstate New York in the middle of nowhere. So there was just like no hairdressers that knew how to do black hair. So for the most part, if your hair wasn't braided up, trying to live the struggle bus in the middle of nowhere, then you just kind of had to do your hair yourself, or you had to pray that you had a homegirl that would like hook you up real quick real fast. And I want to say like my freshman year I had somebody who used to hook me up, but then she transferred, I think she transferred schools or something like that. So, and afterwards I just like didn't have to hook up anymore. So it was like me trying to keep my hair braided, slash do it myself. And in upstate New York, if you know anything about it, is very cold there. We have very, very harsh winters. My hair was always dry. And yet again, I was a college student and I'm very, very low maintenance. So only thing I wanted to do was like wake up and just like roll out of bed. I used to legitimately have a hoodie on like this all the time. Like that was the only thing I wanted to do. So me doing my hair, I was just like, I don't have time for this. But what ended up happening was, and I'll maybe post another video about this, but my hair started to break. And I was just like, I don't have time for this, and I'm tired of doing the perm thing, so how about I go natural? So literally what I did was I went to, I think, just the bathroom in my apartment, and I legitimately stood in front of the mirror, and I think I had to watch other YouTube videos about girls going natural, and like honestly I had thought about doing it for a while, and yet again I'll probably explain that in another video, but I don't know what happened to me that day, to be honest. I just remember I had washed my hair that morning. My hair was just crazy and wild because I let it air dry, and I was just like, you know what, I'm tired of this. And so I went home and I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, you know what, if you cut in the front, you can't turn back. So I took a piece of my hair, took a scissor, and just, and that was it. And I legitimately cut all my hair off. I had like this much hair, like not even. It was very short, like the size in between the space in between, very, very short. Just took a scissor, cut all my hair off, and I came out, and I never forget, like my roommates were like, because yet again, I washed my hair that morning. My hair was wild and it was crazy. And I cut my hair and it was really, really short. And I feel like everybody thought I like lost my mind. But I was like, I was already nervous because I couldn't believe that I was actually doing it while I was doing it. I walked out and I was like, brace yourself. So I came out, and honestly, when I first cut my hair, I loved it. It was so, so cute. And I was getting lean too, so it kind of like worked for me. So I was like kind of femme and like had this masculine look going on as well. But the problem that I had to deal with was that my hair, when it started to grow out, it started to grow out wild, and I could not maintain it. I didn't know what to do with it. That was the one end. And on top of that, we were dealing with like a harsh, harsh winter. So my hair was still breaking even though it was natural. So I was trying to find ways to keep it moisturized and just deal with it. So I started using castor oil, which is a very like thick and like heavy oil. So, and in upstate, when I first started to use it, it worked because yet again, it was a thick oil. It kind of helped with keeping my hair moisturized and like feel good because it wasn't like dry and brittle. And it just like worked for me at that point in time. So that summer I came home and I was still using like castor oil, like really thick oils on my hair, and my fro, yet again, it had grown out, but it was still like kind of wild, and it didn't have that much shape because, yet again, I cut it myself and I never got my hair professionally cut. Like I trimmed it myself. Like after I cut my hair, I just didn't want anybody to cut it. I was like, I'm just gonna cut it myself. And I used to wear my fro out on a daily basis. So I continued to use like very, very thick oil. But what happened was in the summer, clearly it was hot out, so the oil would heat up and the oil would drip, 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 drip down the sides of my face, down my chin. And so what ended up happening is that I had the worst acne because it irritated my skin so bad, all on the sides and underneath my chin, and even like it was a little bit like on my like hairline in front, but more so on the sides, because honestly when I put the oil on my hair just never felt moisturized enough, and so I put more and it just like nothing happened. And then I would go outside once I put enough where I felt like, okay, this is good. I would go outside and then drip, 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 drip. It was horrible. And then I was interning then, so I spent all day in the office and still was like disgusting. I had the worst. When I mean to tell you, everything, especially underneath my chin, was breaking out. Everything under my chin was breaking out. And that kind of, I feel like, and yet again, we all have stress bumps. Whenever I get a cold, I will definitely break out when I get a cold. That it is what it is. I think it's just the cold just trying to come out of me, to be honest. And yeah, whenever it's like that time of month, I'm gonna break out. I think that's normal. But what I mean to tell you, like acne, like full on, like engorged, like huge scars. I almost wish I had pictures. Tons of them. Cool. So that's what started off. So now this is 3 or 4 years later. So I start working yet again, like a pretty stressful job with pretty irregular hours. Like you come in maybe like 8 or 9 o'clock on average. Sometimes I come in earlier. It kind of just depends. But we stay, it kind of just depends on how busy we are, because we're very much so like deadline driven. So you kind of just stay in the office until the work gets done. So that means I could be leaving at 8 o'clock or at 2 in the morning. It is what it is. So, and yet again, I'm pretty young in my career, so it's going to be this way for a very long time, a while, but it's fine. You kind of just have to stay in your grind, have to hustle. It is what it is. You lose a lot of sleep, and on top of that, you're not eating very well. So once I started this job, I was eating, and yet again, I had gained a lot of weight freshman year of college. And once I got older, like I just didn't like register, like, oh, I'm getting older, like I can't do the stuff that I used to do when I was in like high school and still have the same body or have the same whatever. So then I started this job where I was always out of the house, so I wasn't really cooking for myself. Ton of junk food, always snacks in the office, always like eating out. And then you just gain, you never lose weight, you just gain more weight. And then on top of that, we were sitting there for like 14, 15 hours a day. You don't really have time to like work out. And the problem is when you eat a ton of junk food, the only thing that happens, and a lot of processed food too, because you don't know, even when you're like ordering out, and even when you're ordering like healthy food, you don't necessarily know what people are putting in your food when you don't cook for yourself. And the only thing it did was make my acne worse, because everything was just coming out of my skin. So I had experienced more so yet again my chin, and it's the worst acne in the world. So my chin was definitely breaking out underneath it, and then on my chin. And then now I have this problem. You can't really see it because of the lighting here, but here, I'll come up a little closer, maybe a little darker. If you can see here, I have a ton of acne scars here. And if you see here, I also have, if you see, acne scars here. And I also have here. So yeah, I had a ton of acne. So everything was coming out of my skin. And then also, I was not sleeping at all, which is horrible for your skin because, I mean, that's when your body heals. That's when your skin has time to like rejuvenate itself. And then on top of that, I have a very, very, very bad addiction to caffeine. I drink way too much of it on the regular. So I was drinking a ton of caffeine. And the only thing that was happening was my face breaking out. And on top of that, I was super stressed out. So only thing it made me do was gain weight. And my acne was terrible. And I just was not taking care of myself. And completely terrible. Cool. So what I decided to do this past summer, so I'll probably also make a separate video about this, and this video is also getting kind of long, so I might split it up into 2 parts to kind of talk about my skin and then talk about product reviews. So over the summer, my roommate and I decided to do this cleanse / diet called Whole30, and basically, very, very high level, what it is you basically only eat fruits, vegetables, and I guess you would say like healthy carbs, but you basically cut out, I mean, everything that you can think of, from like carbs to beans to dairy, sugars as much as you can. You try to cook so you know what's in your food as much as you can, and you try the best that you can to be healthy. You can have caffeine, but again, just no dairy. You can have salt, but you really can't have sugar. And maybe what I'll do is I'll post a link below here so you can see what Whole30 is about, and maybe I'll make a separate video to kind of explain to you, or kind of talk about how that process went for me. But doing Whole30 was literally the best decision for my skin that I could have ever made. And to be honest, I think in terms of food, because I was eating like so much more greens and like vegetables, and even though I didn't eat like a ton of vegetables at first, I was eating like a lot of proteins. Like when I first started, I did a lot of steak and potatoes. For whatever reason, my body like craves steak and potatoes, so that's kind of what I ate, and plantains as well. But I guess towards the end, I was kind of becoming more open to like green vegetables. But what I can say is cutting out a lot of the sugar and the processed food literally did wonders for my skin. Also, what helped me, I thought like did wonders, was the dairy. I think a huge part of my acne situation, especially as an adult, is dairy. Because when you get dairy, has a lot of hormones in it. It is what it is. Nowadays, when mass like milk is produced, they pump cows with a ton of steroids and a ton of hormones. That's, to be honest, it's bad for the animals, but it's also bad for you because all that stuff comes out of the milk. And what ends up happening is I have a very, 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 very sick addiction to cheese. I love cheese with burning passion. Like, and not even like the cheap stuff. Like I like the fancy, like smoked Gouda with bacon type cheese. I can literally eat cheese nonstop. And FYI, that makes a bomb grilled cheese, to be honest with you. I love it. Like pizza, anything you can think of. Ice cream. Ice cream is heavily stocked in my apartment at all times. My roommate and I love ice cream. We spend way too much money on ice cream. And again, I still drink a lot of coffee. So I had a ton of milk in my coffee every morning, or half and half, I guess you should say, in my coffee every morning. So by me cutting it out, so basically I stopped with the ice cream, couldn't have cheese. So it was full, the Whole30 was a 30-day cleanse. So I stopped having cheese and I stopped dairy in my coffee. I switched to coconut milk, and maybe within like 2.5 weeks, but yet again, that's like more than halfway through the cleanse, but within 2.5 weeks, my skin looked amazing. So outside of the fact that I have acne on my face, I also have acne on my chest. That is a huge part that I failed to mention when I first started this video. Outside of the acne that I got on my face and under my chin, as an adult, I started getting acne like on my chest, which I've never ever had. Like never had until And again, I started working and I started working these long hours. So I think what ended up happening is that like probably all these things were like dormant, and I probably saw like symptoms of it growing up. And it wasn't until like, I want to say like harsh conditions, but let's be real, harsh conditions, not sleeping that much, not eating very well, just like a combination of stress and everything else, like it all just started coming out. So I got like acne in my chest. So that's really also what prompted me to want to do the Whole30, not because of the weight loss benefits, more so for the health benefits. And I also got really bad eczema. So I have acne here, I have acne there. I also developed really, really bad eczema on my arms and on my legs. So I've always had eczema on my legs. I inherited it, I would say, from my mother's side of the family. And I've had like creams and stuff for it ever since I was a kid. They call it like chicken skin. That's like the nickname for it. I forget what like the real name for it, but it's a type of eczema. I have it on my legs. I had special cream for it when I was younger. And I really didn't like the cream because it smelled like kind of funny. It was like medicated. It smelled kind of funny. So like once it smoothed out a little bit, like I stopped using it. And then all of a sudden now as an adult, like whew, I have like random eczema on my arms. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do this cleanse. Cool. So I did the cleanse. And what I noticed was my skin looked so much better. Like 100% better. The only thing that I still noticed and which frustrated me a lot was, even though that my skin on my face was clearing up and my eczema was slowly but surely clearing up, I was still breaking out underneath my chin and on my chest. So at that point, I was just like, I think something else is like wrong. I'm like not 100% sure, and I'm too old to be having acne like this. And the problem with my acne too is that I scar really badly. So even like here, like if you see up top here, a lot of this happened even at the bottom too. So it's December. I want to say like at this whole part of my face all at once was breaking out. It looks so disgusting. That happened in like June or July. And some of the stuff here happened, like this guy, probably happened in like August. And so like I have scars from the summer in December. Like even here, you probably can't see it because of the lighting here. But I also have like scars, maybe you can see it a little bit here on my chin. If I turn this light off, it'll be too dark, but you can probably see it better. Maybe I'll show pictures later. But yeah, I had all this acne, and you couldn't see it, or I guess you can't see it now. But anyways, I had all this acne. Lost my train of thought. Anyways, I had all this acne, and I was just trying to get rid of it. So I had it all here, I had it all here, I had it all on my chest. So finally, over the summer, I went to the doctor. So I did the cleanse in all of August, and I saw my skin started to clear up, but I was still having like huge breakouts here underneath my chin. You can probably still see, yeah, the lighting here is like really bad. Here, if I turn it off. Yeah, see, my face is way too dark if I turn off my light. But yeah, I had, maybe I'll try to post pictures of it. But yeah, still had the acne here. So I was like, maybe it's something else. I think it's probably hormonal, because that's to me is the only thing that makes sense. Like, you know, you're going through like, I don't know, the hormonal changes in your teens, and that's why you have acne. So I just wanted to be like, hey, what's going on? So I went to the doctor. We did some blood work, and then she recommended me to another doctor. And so with my doctor and talking about like everything that was happening, because yet again I went to my doctor and she said what most people will probably say after they watch this. They'll be like, oh my god, like you don't have acne. And I told her, I was like, it's not that I don't have acne. I do have acne. I just do a lot to maintain my skin, and I'm trying to find, like, yet again, I'm very low maintenance, and even for the stuff that I do now, it's a very high maintenance for me. So I was like, I'm trying to find ways, or trying to find the root of the problem instead of treating the symptom. And I was like, look, it's not just my face. Like, look what's going on here. Like, look what's going on here. Cool. So ultimately, she recommended me somebody else after we got my blood work done. And then what we decided to do to help treat it was, right now I'm on like a low, I'm going to say estrogen hormone. And I will tell you, once she gave this to me, it 100%, I have not broken out underneath my chin. I had one minor breakout on my chest, but yet again, that's because I reintroduced dairy and sugar, which I'll talk about in a second. But I haven't seen any acne here, so I would also recommend for you to do is talk to your doctor, which kind of sounds cliche, but to be honest, I think I've only been on it for like 3 or 4 months, and I think it worked wonders. Like, it helped get at some of the problems, but not 100% all, and I'll discuss that in a second. But yeah, what she prescribed me basically is supposed to help with any like crazy hormonal shifts that I'm going through in like my mid-20s now. But it's not enough where I have like full-on side effects. So it's kind of just like the sweet spot for what I needed at the time, because it was really just to clear my skin. And I will say this to you as well, like, always get your blood work done, which I didn't know about this before you get anything like prescribed to you, because just because things work for other people, it might not necessarily work for you. So I will also recommend making sure you get your blood work done and taking it to your doctor, so that way they can, together with what's going on with you, what other medication you're taking, XYZ and the third, you guys can kind of find a treatment plan, and hopefully it works for you. Sometimes it doesn't on the first try. For me, luckily enough, I think for the first try for what I was looking for, it's working. But for some people, it might take 2 or 3 medications to get where you need to go. So yeah, keep that in mind. So I went to my doctor, and so this is what we just decided to do. So now, in addition, yet again, this is the month of like the end of August. This was like, my skin was the best it's ever been. Was it completely clear? Not at all. But was it absolutely amazing compared to what I was dealing with the month before? Yes. It was like barely had to do anything to my skin, because I was eating right and XYZ and third. And then what I also did was I decided to introduce these. You can't see. Okay. It's very, very bright in here. But yeah, this Vibrant Skin Olay, I got this for like $13, I would say, at Target. But I started to use these skin vitamins, and I would say these guys were the business. Like, it made my skin so bright, and it just looked super hydrated. Mind you, I was also drinking a lot more water, but in general, it made my skin super hydrated. So I would definitely recommend this. So now come December, I will say, I'm still dealing with skin issues. Why do you ask? Alright, I finished a cleanse, and like most cleanses and like fad, I guess you would say, diets, as soon as the 30 days was over, which what you're supposed to do, and I'll describe this probably in another video, is reintroduce food groups back into your diet and see how your body reacts to it. So that way, if your body negatively reacts to one certain food group, you would know to probably just eliminate it from your diet completely. Yeah, my body does not like dairy. Just doesn't like it at all. And I still consume a lot of dairy, because the first thing that happened was I reintroduced cheese and binge ate ice cream and binge ate it with other desserts, and it was just terrible. So I have reintroduced both dairy and sugar, unfortunately, back into my life. I lost, I would say, almost a little bit under 10 pounds. Under 10 pounds. So it wasn't like 10, it was probably like 8. In August, which that doesn't seem like a lot, but it is a lot considering it's only 4 weeks in a month. And I felt like I was losing just about 2 pounds a week, and I was not working out at all. I really worked out like maybe once in a month, but because I cut out literally like all carbs, and I was eating like, I wouldn't say necessarily bird food, but salads, and just like, I think just cutting out the carbs and trying to avoid sugar in and of itself, I like drastically lost like weight. But as soon as I got off the diet, my body went crazy. Like, just the taste of like sugar, my body just like binge ate it. So it is what it is. I've been like eating like crap since I started, or I guess since I got off the cleanse. So my skin has been breaking out. It's not as great as I want it to be. On top of that, what tends to happen too, yet again, I keep saying this, but this is my thing. I'm very, very low maintenance, so I need something that I can do consistently, but that's not going to take up a lot of time and that I won't forget to do. So I would say I had a little bit more time, or I guess not even time, but more patience in the summer than I do now. So I would tell you things that I introduced that I thought made my skin look really, really good. I will say a lot of it I have been slacking off. Even taking my vitamins, it's supposed to take 2 a day. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to take 2 a day. But even that, take 2 a day. No food or water is needed. So yeah, I just take 2 a day. But in the mornings, I'm like running out, so I like never take it. So I'm gonna tell you what I plan to do. So yes, I highly recommend this. My skin looks so hydrated. I think this in combination with drinking a lot of water really helped my skin. Like when I mean to tell you, it was like really bright. My skin looks super bright now. Do not be fooled because I literally have a light on my face because my room is very, very dark. So my skin looks like popping and like meow, meow. Nope, it's the lighting. It is not anything else but that. As soon as it's dark and I turn off the light and I come up close, you will see that my skin actually does look pretty dry because it's cold outside, so the air is really dry and I don't have the humidifier in my house. But drinking water and taking these, I thought really, really helped. I'm gonna start from now on, instead of taking all my vitamins in the morning because I just do not have time for that, I'm going to try to start taking them at night so that way I remember to take them, and hopefully that'll help come the new year and consistently take it. Because I probably started taking these guys when I started the Whole 30. So cleaning up my diet and taking these guys, I really, really thought helped.